Hey everybody, welcome to Fishing Planet. My name is Lady, and today I'm going to take you guys to the Lone Star Lake in Texas. Now, I know I've already done a vid about how to catch the bass there and the buffalo, but this time I'm going to show you guys around and let you also see what other types of fish there are. Before we go, I'm going to show you guys what you need to bring with you. As you can see, this is a level 6 account. I'm using the OmniFlow 350, which you can buy at level 6. I have the InspireCast 2000, which you can buy at level 4. Then I'm using a Mono 0.18 line. And I also have the Chubby Bobber on it. And then here I have the Spin 230, which you can buy at level 6 as well. The InspireCast 2000 and also the Mono 0.18 line. Now over here you can see the rest that we need to bring with us to fish for all kinds of fish that are for every kind of fish actually that is available there. So it's the oval bobber and slim bobber for the panfish, then the hooks number 4 and 6 for the panfish as well, and number 2, number 1 and the 1.0 to catch the bigger ones. We have of course some extra line with us. Then onto spoons. I'm just bringing spoons with me, but you can also bring in bass jigs or jig heads. They have to be between number 1 and 2.0 for the casting spoons and 3.0 for jigs. And last but not least, baits. Bread of course is for panfish, redworms, you can catch nearly everything. Maggots are for panfish as well as radius sunfish, you can catch trophies with it. There are trophy bluegills and trophy radius sunfish in this area. Then I have the pet food, which I'll be using for the young channel catfish. Peas, I'll be using that one for the buffalo. Dough balls is for buffalo as well, and with corn you can catch either one of those. Mind that all these types of baits can also be caught by the other fish. So if you use corn for buffalo, you can also catch catfish or radius sunfish, and same goes for nearly everything else. So okay, we're all good to go. Oh yes, as for hooks, when you're fishing buffalo, it goes up to 1.0 hook. I have tried landing it with 2.0, but apparently it's too big for the buffalo. So just bring the 1.0. That's good. Okay, so to Lone Star Lake, Texas. Now the greatest thing about this is that it's not going to cost you any money, and you already by default are allowed to keep every fish that is there. So there we go. Let's see what we can catch in this trip. So here's the lake. As you can see, it has 3 spots on the map that you can go to. First is the home sweet home, then we have the swampy exploration, and third we have the dam road. But to switch locations, you don't need to go back to the map. You can just walk all your way around the lake, and there's a bridge over here that you can use to cross it. So let's go to home sweet home first. Now, as you can see, when we enter it, it's very misty. It always is in the early morning and in the evenings. So I'm going to fast forward time to 9 AM, so you guys can actually see what's going on. So here we have the house with the garage. For now it's just decoration. And here we have the lake. Now this is the biggest part of the lake, and it's pretty clear. There are some patches of lilies and weeds, as you can see, but it's a nice place to fish. And then here we have the wooden bridge, the first of 2, but this is the one that's shown on the map. And then this section of the lake, you can see that it is smaller, and it's also infested with lily pads and with weeds. So if you don't know how to deal with snakes, my advice will be that you check out my other video. It's on my YouTube channel about how to deal with snakes, because you are going to get your line tangled up in these plants. Alright, so first let's walk along the lake. So here we go. Now as you could see earlier, my rod was already out and you can fish nearly every part of the lake except here where the bushes are, but there is a small gap in between, and as you can see right here, you can fish for panfish, and if you were to cast all the way over here you can also fish for pikes. So that's one place to fish at. Now let's continue. Oh, there we go. We're at the end of the lake and there are two dead trees laying over it we can walk across. Now this actually you can't fish, this small stream. Anyways, let's continue. So we walk across the lake right now on the other side of it, and about here or a little further. Oh, it's a little further. There we go. Here's another open spot that you can fish. You'll notice that it's not very wide open area here. Here it is a bit more clear. There is some current here, so if you are going to cast your bobber over here, it will eventually drift up all the way over there, and then it will get caught again by lilies. So make sure that so you don't get tangled up in it too much. Also, if you cast over here, you can get a pike and the first spotted bass. And then here, of course, it's a panfish, and also in the center of it, it's a panfish as well. Okay, so now on to the other side of the wooden bridge, which is right here. So there's the house and there's the bridge. Now if you turn around, you'll see this sign over here with the red worm on it. And if you're completely broke and you don't have any money left and you don't have any bait left, what you need to do is just dive into this compost pile and you'll find 25 red worms, all for free, up for grabs. But as long as you do have money and bait, you're not going to find anything. So, but that's the spot to go to if you're completely broke and have to grind your way back up. Okay, so let's go here. Right now I'm at the center of the bridge. You can see, because here there's this triangle of weeds. It's going from here, and then it tips over there, and then it's all the way down to there. Now this is also a great marker for you, because this marks the X spot, as I like to call it. Because if we walk a little bit to the left and then look all the way down there, you can see we have a completely clear line, no lily pads or weeds, and this is actually where you cast to catch spotted bass and to catch pike. So all the way from there up until here, because here is the second spot already. When you have the tip of the triangle of weeds, it's from here, it's about 10 meters out, all the way up to here, 5 meters out, where it is where the bass likes to hang out as well. Now if we move to the other side of the triangle, all the way up here, now I know it's not very easy to see it right now, it's because of the shadows, but here is also an open spot between two patches of lily pads. And that's the second or the third place that you can use to go after pike and after smallmouth. Not smallmouth bass, after spotted bass. So just cast over there and then you reel in all the way to here. So let's give that a try. I'm going to stand over here because the sun is on that side right now. So I'm currently using a 1.0 spoon. I have my dragging set on 3 and I'm going to do a stop and go technique. So first I want to get rid of the slack like that, and then we'll just hit the left mouse button, just tap it quickly, and there we go. We have our first fish on. That's awesome. Let's see how it behaves. So a couple of times I thought that I would have had a pike on because the way it was behaving, only to find out later that it was the spotted bass, because it can be quite as jumpy as the pikes are. This one is giving a pretty big fight, so I'm going to add one more drag to it, and let's see if we can catch this one. Now what I don't want to happen is that it's going to cross the bridge, because then it has a whole lot more body of water that it can cross, and that of course isn't something that I want. Now it's contained to about 50 meters in total, so let's hope I can get this fish in time, and that it doesn't run off. Now I could go for one more drag with this setup. Which is what I'm going to do. As you can see, I'm in the red, but I'm on the good part of the bar. It's not going over it. So I'm sort of muscling it in right now, just using a lot of power. And I know that not a lot of good fishermen applaud this technique. I'll later show you guys how to do it properly with smallmouth bass, because that fish normally gives a much bigger fight than this one currently is doing. So then I'll have more time to show you guys how to handle that type of fish, or those types of fights actually. Okay, now here we go, and it's a spotter bass. So as you can see, it's 0.8 kilograms. I don't think it goes anything higher than 0.9. It gives 20 experience points, so that's obviously a nice thing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can also catch a pike at this spot, so let's try a different lure. I hope it will entice the pike instead of the bass. I'm choosing silver right now because it's a sunny day, and some people claim silver helps to reflect the rays of the sun. Other people think gold is better. To me, I'm not partial to either one of them. I think that some days it's the same with bait. You can have a certain type of bait, and it works like a charm on one day, and then the next day you don't catch anything with it. And I think the same goes for which color spoons you're using. That they too on some days work better than on other days. So just if you notice that you don't catch anything with it, try a different spoon. Yes, there we go. No, and this one definitely is a pike, where it's bouncing all up and down. Yes, as you can see, we have ourselves a grass pike, and it gives 5 experience points. Don't expect to get the big bucks here, you won't, but you will get some experience, and especially Smallmouth Buffalo gives the greatest experience. I'll show you guys my catches later on, how much experience everything brought. Right, so on to the next fish, the channel catfish. So we're in the center of the wooden bridge, and I'm going to cast. As you can see, there's a dead tree standing there, a banded one, and another one there. I'm going to cast a bit in the middle, and then a bit about here, which is like 26-27 meters out. Oh, I'll need to check the setup, of course. Yes, I have it's set on 200. I have tried 220 and 250, but this actually isn't the deepest part of the lake, so 200 works better for me. And as you can see, hook number 2, and then with pet food. Now you can also catch radius sunfish with pet food, but let's hope that we get a channel catfish at the first try. So there we go. we're at 21, which is fine. And the bass go nearly all the catfish go nearly all the way up to here. So we're at a good spot. Now we just have to sit and wait. Now these fish, they're pretty passive. I don't know if I've said it already, but you can only catch young channel catfish here. And well, they don't go over a kilogram. I think 700 or 800 is the biggest that you can catch up here. 700 or 800 grams. So but it's okay. It gives some XP and oh, I pulled it too far. Okay. It gives you some XP and some bucks, and of course, because you don't have to pay for any traveling or licenses, it's straight money into your pocket. So that's awesome. Yep, and there we go. Sometimes I don't know if you guys noticed it. Sometimes you see that you have no indication whatsoever on your free bars or on your single bar, but you will see that your bobber is going sideways, and that's what happened, and that's the reason why I did a strike, because it means that you have a fish on. So here you can see a fish of like half a kilogram, and it gives 7 XP. So we're going to keep that one too. Alrighty. Well, this is going nice. We're now on 15 minutes into the movie, and all we need is smallmouth bass and a radius sunfish. So as you can see here alongside the edge, there's a patch of lilies. It's a great spot to find panfish and also trophies. Okay, first thing that I'm going to do is fast forward time to noon to let you guys get a better view of the spot that we need to fish. And now we go into the map. So we started here, we walked all the way across there, then we stood on the bridge for some time, and then we walked all the way down here. And this is the spot that we're at right now, and you'll notice that here is the bunch of reeds. So just go past these reeds if you end up at them. And this is first of the 2 spots where you can catch the smallmouth buffalo. And what we're going to do is we're going to cast over the patch of lilies up here, and that's is the spot where they are. So first setup for this one, we're sticking with the hook number 2. As I said before, you can catch them up to hook number 1.0. 2.0 seems to be too big. As for a bait, I'm going with peas. Now if you're a higher level, you can also use stuff like marshmallows or crickets, and they like that as well. In fact, marshmallows are called the biggest smallmouth buffalo so far. Was 1.4 kilograms, and that's the highest that you can catch here, just a little under the 1.5 kilogram mark. So peas for me it is right now, because I'm level 6, and I'm setting the leader to 150 centimeters. Now you can catch them at 220, and you can catch them from 220 all the way up to 70 centimeters. But for me 150 seems the spot where I can catch the most, so I'm sticking with that one. And now if the peas aren't working and we only catch catfish, we'll try dough balls and see how they respond to that. So here we go. Now the place where you need to cast is about here. It's between 30 and 20 meters out, and it begins right here, well, a bit like there, and then it goes all the way up to here, so where the next patch of lilies begins. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cast right there. That spot should be fine. Now if you are level 12 or higher and you have crickets with you, cast around between 35 and 30 meter spot right here, standing on this side, because with crickets you be able to catch both the radiate sunfish, the trophies, and also the smallmouth buffalo, and also the spotted bass. So this is the only spot that I've been able to catch all 3 with the same bait. so it's nice. Okay, as said, smallmouth buffalo, it's a bit of an aggressive passive type of fish. So in the beginning it will run off like crazy and try to take your line, and then after a while it just surrenders and you can reel it in. It's not like bass or pike that it will make big jumps. I did happen to have a couple of jumps just when it was up here, but it was like a final jump and it sort of like ran into your arms, and that was it. Oh, I twisted it a bit too much because something was already interested. Now let's hope we get a quick enough bite, because I don't want this movie to last too long for you guys. I know you guys are all eager to fish and try it out yourself. And this is just to show you what you can catch. So what I've done right now is just lifted up my rod a little to see if there was anything that was interested, and well, I'm going to reel in just say to 26 will be fine. That's more closer to the hot spot where they are. It's between 28 and 22 meters, but as said, you can also catch them earlier or farther away. So we have some interest. I can see my bobber dipping every now and then. Come on, fish. So let's try 24 meters. And it's taking its sweet time. Normally by now I would have hooked either a channel catfish or a buffalo, and I think we're going to see some action soon because we have another visitor. Now if this takes too much time, just skip this place and we'll go to the other side. There's another sweet spot for the buffalo. And then of course I already have a video about how to catch the buffalo on my YouTube channel, so you can go there and I'll mention all kinds of baits that you can use and what works and what the time frames are. But we have a fish on, but it's not a buffalo because it's not giving any kind of a fight, so it's either a reindeer sunfish or it's a catfish. So let's see what we've hooked. And also by now you would have seen a silvery side. And we didn't. It is the catfish. So I'm going to keep that one, and we're moving on to the second spot, which is on the opposite side of lake of the dam spot. So what we're going to do is walk up this road. So it gives us a nice view of the lake, as you can see. And then on the right side there are trees. And we're almost there. Yep, here we go. So, okay, this is the second spot. And I'll show you guys on the map. So first we fished over here. We had the catfish. And here's where you'll enter the dam spot. And we walked up here and took the road all the way down there. And right now we're standing here in this area. So this is also a spot for the smallmouth buffalo. And first off, we need to adjust the settings of our gear, because right now we have it on 150, and this part of the lake actually is the deepest part. So we set it now to max depth, and I'm going to use dough balls this time instead of beads, and try if that's going to work. So we stick with the same hook and the same bobber. Now here you have to cast out between 26 meters and until say 18-ish. So we just cast it straight in front of you. There is some current here, or it's the wind, so you will notice that the line is going fairly quickly to the left. So you'll need to be aware to be dealing with quite some slack on your line. So I've so now it sits straight up my bobber. It's at 25 meters right now, and let's see if we can catch a buffalo this time. Oh, we already have some action going on. Now to my left side you can also see, to my right side I mean, you can also see some lily pads. There's also a good spot to catch panfish, and also a trophy bluegill and radius sunfish as well. Even though the radius sunfish are more behind there than they are on this side of the lily pads. Yep, there we go. Let's see what we have. Yes, this is the buffalo. You can see because it takes a lot of line right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding, right now I'm trying to reel in, and the moment that I see that the tension goes up, I let go of my reel, and the only thing that I'm doing is lifting up my rod. And I wait. Because if I were to do this right now, you see that it takes more and more line. So there the tension dropped, then we can start to reel. Now it's adding more tension, so then we just lift up the rod and we quit reeling. As you can see, it's quite far on the other side of the lake. So this is how you normally handle bigger fish. That gives you some fight. What you can also do is switch direction, and it means that you can go from left to right, from left to right. Now, as you can see right now, my drag is still set on 2, so I can add it to 3. I can even go to 5 on this setup. But let's try it on 3 first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll add more drag to it. But so far it's going okay. It's now actually swimming towards us, so that's awesome. Just make sure that you keep enough tension on the line. It's now a bit bouncing up and down. And it tries to run off again. So lifting up the rod, and the tension goes down a little, lifting up the rod. And you can also hear by the ticking sounds if it's taking more line, and it's taking quite a lot of line right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one more drag and just wait till it's the fish surrenders. Right now it doesn't feel like giving up, which is fine. We still have enough line left, and there it let go a bit of the tension, so can start reeling it back in. I'm adding one more drag to it just to try and tire it out this way, so that the fight's already taking some time. And as I said before, I don't want this to last too long, this video. It really is going like crazy. Okay, there we go. 67, come on. Come back. And I was going to say I was going to give up. It looks a bit like that, but so far it's still going. Well, right now it's swimming towards us, so we can reel in faster. And right now the fish has surrendered. You can notice that it's doing this bit of a bouncy thing underwater, and you can just keep on reeling in. And there the bobber arrives, and soon we'll see this nice silvery white color flashing towards us. And there it is, just behind the bobber. It is the same kind of color as the freshwater drum has, so to me it looks very pretty, and it just is a very pretty fish in general to catch. So there we go, look at that beauty. Awesome. Okay, 1.458 kilograms, and as you can see, 42 experience points. I think this is one of the biggest I've ever got so far. So we're obviously going to keep this. So one last fish that's on the menu, which is the radius sunfish. I'll just use maggots right now, and yeah, we're going with the same depth. Radius sunfish like to stay there as well. So casting out about here. Now it could also be that we'll catch something like common shiner or whatever. Doesn't matter, I'm just going to cast out once and then conclude this vid, because we've just passed a half-hour mark, and I think it's more than enough for you guys to have shown you the lake and what's available here. So we already have something that is interested in it, but it's playing with the food instead of eating. So I hope it bites quickly. As you can see, the line is drifting to the left side, and that's either the wind or the current doing it. I think it's the wind right here. And probably next week I'll do the video about how to catch the trophies here. I've also promised to do a video about how to catch the trophy fish in Missouri, because a couple of players requested it. So no worries, I'll if I don't catch a rated sunfish here, I'll show you guys then where you have to catch them, what kind of bait you need, and what the happy hours are for those fish. Okay, we had a fish on. Oh, but I think I struck. The strike was a bit too fierce. Anyways, it doesn't matter. it is enough for today. I'll walk up to the house. Just go here. Now here you can also fish these spots, and if you fish further out, you can also catch channel catfish. And well, as I said earlier, on the spot right here, if you cast all the way there, in on the other side, you see the patch of lilies. Where my highlighted section is right now. There you can also catch bass with crickets. So keep that in mind if you're level 12 or higher. So we're back at the house right here, as you can see. So last but not least, let's check what we've caught so far. So it was the grass pike, smallmouth buffalo, spotted bass, and 2 times the young channel catfish. And here, as you can see, I told you guys don't go for the big bucks because they aren't here. That I'm actually getting 13 bucks for these spotted bass is about the most that you can catch here. Typically for a bass it's about 10 bucks, sometimes a little lower. Now the grass pike, it ranges from 2 to 4 bucks, 5 maybe at most. Catfish, same story as with the pike, and smallmouth buffaloes between 7 and 12 as well. But here, as for experience points, they are great fish to catch. So you get 42 experience points for smallmouth buffalo, and here the spotted bass gets 20, and that's because it's one of the biggest bass that you can catch here. Normally it's about 15 that you can between say 12 and 20, 21 that you can catch for this fish. In total we've earned 29 bucks, and that goes straight into our pocket. So if that being said, I'm going to wish you guys good days, happy days, and tight lines, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.